Hello from the world headquarters for the Hangin' with Herky Empire.
I know, we have not done an update in a long time. Since November when we were out traveling. The reason being, when we got home from our November traveling, there he goes, we had a family of 5 living here plus an extra dog. So doing updates was impossible.
Nearly impossible. So
yeah.
We have 3 grandchildren. Well, we have 6 grandchildren in total, but our son sold his house and he had to move in with us temporarily. And so we had 3 kids under 3 in our house. So
yes.
You can see it was impossible to do an update. So.
Right. And this past Thursday, we put them on a plane for Costa Rica.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to be down there at least 5 years. We'll
Mm-hmm.
see. They made it safely. And the dog arrived late yesterday evening. She had to travel separate.
So yep, it was fun having them here, and we enjoyed that. But they're back on their own again.
And it made it hard to put them on a plane after living with us for almost 3 months. But we're doing okay.
We won't talk about that. Otherwise, we might start shedding some tears.
Leaky eye syndrome.
Hey, we obviously we haven't been able to travel much, so we decided, you know what? It's been a long time. I guess maybe 2 years ago during the COVID shutdown, we did a live chat where we tried a live chat. We found that we actually do better if we have a chance to think about things before we talk. So I put out some questions on the community page. So some people sent us a question. So this is going to be a long video. So
sorry.
Fast forward to where you think you want to be, or sit back and enjoy the ride. So hang on. We're going to work through. These are questions that a lot of questions were sent in to us. A lot of them were similar in nature, so I could try to combine those together. And then I kind of went back and tried to highlight some of the most common questions that are asked us. So hey, I've got it on my trusty iPad here. We're going to break this down into 4 categories tonight. Personal questions, questions about the runaway camper, questions about Jack, our Astro van, travel questions in general, just general travel questions, and what are our future plans for this year. So that is going to take a long time, but we're going to do our best to answer these questions for you. So
get your drinks, get your popcorn, here we go.
Yeah, you might want to pause this right now and get some popcorn.
Herky just went and had a snack.
I don't know, for the 5 of you that are interested, you might sit here for the whole time.
Might be all relatives.
All right, we're going to start off with the personal category here. We've got all these personal questions. A lot of people are asking about my hearing. So let me give you a brief synopsis of what happened. On January the 4th, I woke up deaf in one ear. It's called sudden deafness syndrome, I believe is what it's called. At first, I thought I just had wax in my ear, and so I tried to clean it out, and I couldn't get it to go away. The unfortunate thing was that evening I was leaving to go to our son's house in Costa Rica and get and help him get settled in and do some things down there. The original plan was to stay a week and come back to the United States. I got there, and fortunately the people I was staying with had a lot of ENT and audiologists in their family, and they recognized that there was something wrong, and so they sent one of the relatives took a look at me, and she told me I needed to be on medication right away to prevent hearing loss.
Permanent
hearing loss. So as we stand today, I received some treatment for 2 weeks in Costa Rica. I stayed an extra week, and I came back with some medication, and I've been seeing specialists here in the United States. I have about 70% hearing loss in my left ear, and somewhere around 10-20% hearing loss in my right ear. So I can't hear very well. And
well, they did say the right ear's from just your age.
Right. I was having some problems anyway.
The left ear's from a virus.
Right. So am I getting it back? The doctor didn't give me much hope. I have an MRI this coming week, and just to make sure there's nothing else wrong, but it looks like in a few months, I'll be looking at hearing aids or a miraculous healing. A lot of people have been praying for me and asking me questions about it, and so I appreciate everybody that's done that. I can tell you that it's hard to tell that I have a hearing impairment when we're standing close, but I'm in a crowded room. It's really loud. So anyway, that's the update, and
in a crowded room, he wears these earplug things that he has. So they're hoping with the medication they can get him to where a hearing aid will help that left ear.
Right now, even with a hearing aid, I couldn't.
No, but with medication, they're hopeful that he can get a hearing aid and that will help.
All right, enough about me and enough of that.
It's all about you, right?
There we go. Somebody asked, in fact, several people asked, how long have we been married?
This June, the 19th, will be 40 years.
So there you go, 40 years together, and we plan on going.
We dated 1 year, and then got married.
We plan on going another 40. How about that?
Wow. Do you know how old we'll be?
So the next question is, somebody wants to know, how did we meet?
I'll answer that one. So we were in youth group together at our church, and our pastor's wife...
I was not previously attending that church.
Right, he came with a friend, and then he came the next week, and so our pastor's wife got the great idea to have... because we always went out to eat after church, and so she had the great idea to send everybody to the pizza place and tell us everybody was going to McDonald's. So I think that was kind of our first date, was McDonald's, if you want to call it that.
So it showed up, it was just the two of it. I don't know if you call it a blind date, but we certainly did. We were set up. The thing is I had never been anywhere. I'd never traveled any place. I'd been to maybe 4 states, but my grandparents, my maternal grandparents, were travelers, and it always fascinated me the places they'd been and that. And then I met Nancy, and she'd been everywhere. Well,
I had just gotten back from a trip to Florida, and I had brought my pictures to show everybody, and it was just Ed and I, and so he
that was back in the day when you brought a photo album,
right? But growing up, my dad was an evangelist, so by the time I was 8 years old, I had been in 38 states. So Ed was pretty impressed with that.
I was in my 20s and had never seen the ocean.
Yeah.
So
we took care of that.
So anyway, that's how we met.
Yep.
Is
that a meet cute?
It was a meet.
Meet cute.
So anyway, the next question is we mention God in prayer a lot. What religion are we?
Well, we're not a religion. We are followers of Jesus Christ. We attend a Bible church.
Yeah, we're part of the... If you want to call it a religion, it's not really a religion. It's more of a movement type of thing. It's called a Bible church movement. And we attend a church that preaches the Bible. And it's not a topical type sermons. We go through the Bible and we read the scriptures and we try to apply them to our lives. Emphasis on try.
We don't always.
We make many mistakes and we're not perfect. But and then we are very involved in our home church, and we have
up until a month ago, our son was one of the pastors there, and now he's a missionary sent from the same church.
So that is our story on God and religion. We follow Jesus Christ and hope to live our lives pleasing to Him. Like I said, we try. The next question is, what breed is Herky?
He's a Lhasa Apso, right? Did I say that right? And February, the 28th is his 5th birthday.
We've had 2 Lhasa Apsos. This is our second one.
Right. The other one was white, like a caramely color. Sam was his Samwise Gamgee.
He lived to be 13 years.
Yeah, he had stomach cancer.
So from the very first, actually, we picked up Herky. The night before we picked up Herky, we boondocked on the parking lot of the world's largest truck stop in Wilcott, Iowa.
And then we're talking about you.
So Herky has been on the road
from day one.
Yeah. And that was one of our goals, is we wanted to really train a dog that traveled well.
Sammy liked to travel.
Yeah. And so we wanted to do a lot of things, like in particular, like he's only allowed in and out one door of the car. So anytime I put the car in park, he runs to that door. Because
we're having trouble with Jack because Jack only has one door in the back, and so he gets confused. He tries to get behind Ed, but
we're working on that. Yeah. But he travels very well. He's pretty good. The thing is he wants to be with us all the time, and so you notice it sometimes when we're pumping gas. He stands there and barks at me. It drives me crazy. So
unless you open the door.
Yeah, we got a little lead we clip on him so he can't get out of the van, and I can open the door and he's fine.
And he shuts up.
So,
it doesn't make any sense. But very well trained dog. I had taken a trip to India. Let's see, we got him in April, and the next January I went to India for 12 days, and to visit some friends and stuff like that. And so Ed trained him while I was gone, but now he's Ed's dog. He likes Ed better.
I spent 12 whole days concentrating on training the dog, and
he gives high fives. He sits. He rolls over, and he sits pretty.
Mm-hmm.
Is that it?
He's got a lot of other tricks, and he's pretty good with people. He does get tired sometimes. So sometimes at the runaway rallies, we have to put him away. And
some of you already know that because you've been nipped, and we're sorry about that.
We have to put him away after a little while. He's very friendly. And if people try to pick him up,
people know him because you watch him, and then when you see him in person, he doesn't know you, and people try to pick him up and love on him. And
it's mainly if somebody tries to pick him up.
Yeah, you just got to give him time to get used to you a little bit.
So anyway, that's Herky, and
that's our baby.
Rounds out our trio here. The next section of questions is about the runaway camper. Now. Let me just say at first, there was a lot of questions about, measurements, size, specifications, and all that.
That's on their website.
That's on their website, and
we do not sell for the company.
No.
We own one, but we don't sell. We bought ours.
We love Stephen and Deidre and the whole runaway family.
Fabulous people. It's Herky.
Oh.
He's squeaking his smile.
We love Stephen and Deidre and the whole runaway family and the whole group of people that are there. But, their business is selling runaway campers and ours is traveling.
Yeah.
So we try to spread the word when we can, but we're not in the business.
We found out about them like most of you. Ed was searching it online. We wanted a small camper, basically because we did not want to have to buy another vehicle. We wanted to park it in our garage.
Going down here.
We apologize for that. We wanted to be able to park it in the garage so we could leave it loaded at all times. And so the runaway just fit everything.
Right. Another question is, how long have we owned our runaway camper?
In the 14th of February, it will be 6 years.
6 years. And we've been everywhere. Why did we choose the runaway over other brands of camper? I think maybe I can answer that question. As when we first started, how I found the runaway is searching the internet for plans on how to build a teardrop camper. And Nancy said, that is not going to happen. You'll get started on that project and that camper will sit in the garage for 4 years and never get completed.
Yeah.
So
you're not married to somebody as long as I have been and not know that.
So anyway, actually when I seen the camper, I'm like, you know what?
Well, first it was the small one.
Yeah, you're right. The 4x8s.
They didn't make ours yet, the big ones. And so Ed had taped it out here on the family room floor, and we laid down in it, and I said, I cannot sleep next to you this close. I'm sorry. I love you, but we need more space. So then they came out with our Range Runner.
The 6x8. And
right.
We knew
we could do that.
The minute we seen that, we knew that that's what we're going to do.
Right.
So we got that. It says one of the questions is, why did we choose the runaway over other brands? And
affordability.
Yeah.
We could pay cash.
We could pay cash. That's how it's probably another question, but that's how we afford this lifestyle. Is we live by cash. We have no debt, and we try to keep things simple and not
do the envelope system
and not buy things that have to make payments.
We wanted to be affordability, be able to tow with the vehicle we already owned.
Yes. Which
we have now towed it with like 4 or 5 vehicles. And I wanted it to park in our garage.
Yeah, that was
which is
really
a good
important
thing. And and because we get a lot of company, a lot of company. And so there's times we overbook this house, and Ed and I are in the camper. Like last weekend, when the kids all came home, we finally got to have Christmas. Our daughter and son-in-law had our room. We had the runaway camper in the garage.
So that's why we chose it over other brands. I know there's other brands out there. A Hiker is right here in Indianapolis. In fact, they reached out to us and wanted
to loan us one for the weekend.
They want to loan us a camper for our YouTube channel, and like do a review on it. And I just didn't see the point in that. But they certainly make a good camper.
Yeah.
Those of you that are looking for a 5-foot wide platform, some people don't want the 6-foot wide because it blocks the vision when you're driving down the road. I like the 6-foot wide, but some people don't. So I think Hiker's a good makes a good trailer, and they had the 5-foot wide platform. My preference would be, and we really like the Rustic Trails campers. My preference is the Runaway, but then again, on the 5-foot wide platform, the Rustic Trails are really nice, and they make a version similar to the Rouser that I think is really nice and really well done. Once again, 5-foot wide, but I don't know of any other camper company that has the following,
and the affordability,
the family.
Oh my word! Yes.
All these rallies we attend, and all the people.
They're like family reunions.
Yeah. So, you know what? If it was just about a box with wheels, what would be the point? I told somebody else that. It's really way more than that.
It's a community that you're in. Now, I have to say this: if money was no object, and I could have anything I wanted, I would have one of those small Airstreams. Not the large ones, but
the Bambi, I think it's called.
Yes.
Yeah, we like that.
I would have that. But
and I really like these bean trailers. I think they're made in New Jersey. But man, they're $25,000-$30,000 just to start talking about that. They're teardrop, and
then you can't travel. Yeah, I guess you can, but
that goes back to our point of just you can't afford that type. One of the other questions we got is, why do we not own a big camper? And I think we pretty much covered that. We are not throwing off on anybody that owns a big camper if they enjoy it and they like it. We always say, you do you and we'll do us. Yeah. And so that's kind of what we like. So that's why we have a tiny camper. The next question is, why do I see you using the Easy Up sometimes in your videos and other times you're using the ARB awning?
I don't think we've used the Easy Up since we've had the ARB.
Well, sometimes we use the Easy Up. The Easy Up is not easy up.
Not at all.
Is painful to set up.
Unless the one we have.
So, but like you might see us if we're at Fort Wilderness and we're there for a week, or we're going to set up for a week or something like that. We still might use the Easy Up from time to time. We still own an Easy Up, but really, it's like I said, it's not easy up. So.
Right. And the ARB affords us more flexibility. It's hooked to the trailer. If we want to use it, we can. If we don't have to. The room is stored underneath the bed, and so is the rug. So if we get someplace and we're like, you know what, let's really put that room up, which we did when we were traveling this past November for the month. We were at Mustang Island, and we were there 4 or 5 days, and so we did set up the room. And
but a lot of times you see us just with the awning.
Yeah, or nothing.
Yeah, it just depends.
Right.
If we're only going to be someplace one night, we don't set up anything.
No, we just back in.
Yeah, so that's it. ARB versus the Easy Up. There's nothing easy about an Easy Up.
No, the ARB is very easy.
But the thing about the ARB is it's pricey.
Well, we got that because of COVID. We had a trip, a 2-week cruise to Alaska. It got canceled. We built the ARB awning in the tent.
So there you go.
And hardwood floors for our living room.
Versus Easy Up. The other question is, what do we prefer, one or the other? Well,
ARB.
We probably prefer the ARB just for ease of use, but
and it's always
the
with
Easy
us.
Up does have some, for big events and things like that. The Easy Up has some. Why do you have your bed configured in the east and west way versus the other way, north and south? And why not just use a folding sofa?
So we do east to west because I'm 4'11". Ed's not really that tall. And then that gives us more area, living area. And I'm lazy, and I don't want to make that bed every day. We don't have a back door. Did you know that? Anyway, so with the bed already down and made.
Yep, we don't want to set up something.
When we pull up on a Cracker Barrel parking lot, we crawl in and go to bed.
And we do not, I don't know, we do not live in our camper. We just sleep in there.
Right.
So some people want to have a spot to sit down and things like that. We sit outside for the most part. So in the evening, when the sun goes down, we go in, we watch an episode of Andy Griffith, and we go to bed. So that's why we just don't sit in there. And we like having that area where we swing our feet over on the side of the bed and get dressed in the morning.
And Herky has his food down there.
Right. We have a little a cassette toilet in there.
We slide it out at night.
It really helps. So anyway, that is the reason why we have the bed configured the way we do.
Yeah.
Okay, the next section of questions is about Jack, our Astro van. Jack Astro.
Jack Astro van.
Some people are asking why we have not seen Jack in the last few videos you put out.
Well, when we went to Harry S. Truman, we were headed to a family wedding in Kansas. And so then after the wedding, we drove Ed's mom back to her house. And we didn't think she would appreciate just sitting on the floor in the back of Jack.
Yeah, Jack.
I mean, she's 81 years old, and she might have balked at that.
It only has 2 seats, so if
and Herky's seat. So.
Yeah. So anyway, that's the reason why in those videos the Harry S. Truman and that you didn't see Jack.
Right. Well, and also Jack got a new rear end.
Yeah.
Would you call it a rear end?
New transmission. So another reason why you haven't seen Jack in like Land Between the Lakes, I think.
I forgot about that.
Is what we did was in preparation for our big trip, which we're going to talk about here in a minute. I decided to go ahead and put a transmission in the van. The transmission we had was not slipping. It probably could have made it. It was making a whining noise, and at its age, I just decided that. I think we're going to put a new transmission in it.
And he listened to his wife and let somebody do it because he can do it. He could do it. But he had to go to Costa Rica to help our son, and then he lost his hearing, so I'm just thankful that we went ahead and did
what
the
I
shop.
would have done normally is bought a remanufactured crate transmission, and I would have pulled it out myself and put it in. But you know what? Nancy's advice, I decided I don't have the time for that, and I mean, it would take me a long time just because I'm by myself. So we put that in a shop, and it had to sit there for a couple weeks. So we did some traveling during that time, and we took the car. So that's why I got Jack back. He's out in the garage right now. I'm making some last-minute modifications, and it's about 2 degrees outside. So we got the garage a mess, and they're working. Anyway, that's why you haven't seen Jack. The question is, why did we buy an Astro van?
Well, Ed wanted an adventure van, an adventure mobile. And so he had looked at different vans, and if you know, like the Chryslers, they bow in. They have bowed sides. And the Astro van has straight sides, and you get more room. Is that right? Did I do that right?
Yeah. That's one of the big reasons.
Yeah.
The thing is, I mean, back to our first thing.
And on all-wheel drive.
We're looking for affordability. So I was looking for all-wheel drive. We had been, a couple of years ago, we had done Route 66 in the snow and the ice and everything. I'm not planning on doing any serious off-roading in it, but basically for snow and ice. I was looking for 4-wheel drive or all-wheel drive, and affordability. I mean, there's several reasons. I talk about this in one of our other videos, but
a 1999 Astro van, when we got ours, was cheap, $2,000.
Yeah, we paid $2,000 for the van.
Now we've put money in it.
We put a lot. That's not a 2,000 van.
But now, though, these Astro vans are going more.
So what happened is, just right after I bought it, there's a gal that does social media for REI. She started putting out videos of her. She found an Astro van and she started fixing it up. And they've gone crazy. I mean, what I paid $2,000 for now is $8,000 to $10,000. So we
get
constantly, people try to buy it from us. Every time I stop at a gas station, somebody wants to know about it.
They want to look inside.
It's not for sale, and
not at this
right
time.
Now. Yeah. So anyway, that's why the Astro van. It's the most common. There's interchangeability of parts. I can go down to the junkyard and find all kinds of parts. The van would probably go 300,000-400,000 miles with no problems at all. So,
and then we'll drop a new engine in it.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't see you ever giving him up.
I don't know. I mean,
you'd probably get rid of me and Herky before you would that van.
I really like the van. So
yeah.
Anyway, it does good for us. So that's why I bought an Astro van. Specs on Jack. People want to know about that. It's a 1999 all-wheel drive 4.3 Vortex engine. Like I said, just a bulletproof engine. It lasts a long time. Things I've done, I mean, I've put new radiator, new transmission, all the suspension has been redone in it, power steering pump. I mean, everything at the engine has been replaced.
A new van.
So
transmission.
Anyway, that's
new tires.
That's the spec. One question is, why do you like this setup versus why didn't we just go to van life type of thing?
Well, I can handle that one. We like to get to a spot, like when we went to the Everglades last year, we parked little dude at a campground and then we just went with Jack. And
Jack has refrigerator.
Right. Microwave, refrigerator, microwave, cassette toilet. All of our food is in there.
All our travel books.
Right.
I mean, we have lawn chairs. If we get to a scenic overlook, we can pop them out. And
small table. We have a rug.
So
we like to be able to drop our bed.
The Runaway is this base camp, and the Astro van is our adventure van. We can be out all day long in it, and we really don't need anything. It's all right there in our van. Yeah. So that's why. And another thing too is cost. I mean, if we were to buy a ProMaster or something like that,
which we love the ProMaster.
We do. I would love to do that someday. But
or a road truck. Love the road truck.
The base. If we were to buy a road truck that's in good shape and things like that, those newer ones are upwards of $100,000.
Right.
And to do a ProMaster right, the base is going to be about $40,000-$50,000. Then you're going to throw another $30,000 on top of that. And
I got 6 grandkids. I have to spoil 6 grandkids. So that's expensive.
So yeah, I mean, just the cost, and you know, and everybody owns a Dodge ProMaster. Not everybody owns an Astro van. We march to the beat of our own drum.
Well, you do. I just march behind you.
There we go. The next category is travel questions. So these are questions people have sent us in about just travel in general. So how do we find all the places we go to?
Ed is a nerd. Just going to put that out there. He likes to read, so he reads books on travel. He researches on his iPad and finds all these quirky things that we go and see. I have nothing to do with it. All I do is say, let's go.
Yeah, I pretty much make those decisions on where we're going.
Right.
And she enjoys wherever we go for the most part. Yeah. So anyway, that's what
I don't do caves. He does that on his own. As you all know that.
Facebook. I belong to so many travel Facebook page groups. And I'm not talking about your RV ones. I'm talking about quirky Roadside Attractions.
Right, that's actual Facebook.
A friend of mine, Bill, runs a Facebook page called Bill's Byways, and I used to work with his wife, and he's got all kinds of just little quirky things on his site. If there's a major road in the country, there's a Facebook page that goes along with it. Route 66.
Oh, they have several.
Blue Ridge Parkway.
Natchez Trace.
I mean, you name it.
Lincoln Highway.
Yeah, there's people that are dedicated to that. They're preservationists. There's a guy named Roman Rich, and he is a Route 66 nut. He's president of the Route 66 Preservation Society, and I formed a Facebook friendship with him, and so we can compare some notes sometimes too. So yeah, that's kind of how anything. I've got a book in here called Pathways and Indian Trails of Indiana, and we've looked for old Indian villages. We've followed the Will Rogers Clark Parkway.
Actually, that's where you found the book.
Yeah,
the park ranger there recommended it, and so we found it.
I'm an avid reader, and so I read a lot. And
not me. I like to
There's
color.
a lot of people that know what we're doing, and they
give us ideas.
So there's been so many people that have said, "Hey, have you tried?" Boom, and look, I write it down. And I go research it and we do it. So anyway, that's how we find all the places.
Well, somebody else too we get a lot of good ideas from is Tom Girth.
Yeah.
Tom. He's another nerd that researches, and so...
You've seen Tom and Susan in some of our videos.
Right, so. And so we've done trips with them, and
yeah. How did we get started doing this? I think that kind of goes back to...
Traveling or
traveling, road tripping.
YouTubing.
No, traveling, road tripping.
Okay, yeah. Well, we just both have the love for traveling. We tried, when our children were home, we traveled a lot. And we tried to get them in all 50 states before they left home. We failed. We missed Nebraska, don't know how, Oregon, Washington State, Idaho, Alaska, Hawaii. So that's all they needed to get once they have left home. Some they've gotten some they still need, but we just love to travel.
And in
our travels, we started making videos for some friends of ours, the Myers, because they send us little snippets, and so we started doing that back. And then for our grandkids. And then our kids are like, why don't you do a YouTube channel? That way we can watch them. You don't have to. So we did. Well, then they started telling everybody about it. And so now we're almost to 3,000 subscribers.
Yeah.
Of course, it's taken us 3 years.
We weren't really trying to build a YouTube channel. Along the lines of how did we get started on this, somebody wanted to know what other RVs or recreational vehicles we've owned.
Tent. Pop-up, tent, runaway.
And in between there, we had a minivan. We had a Dodge Caravan, and
the seats went
after
to
our
the floor.
After our kids left home.
Well, they were in college.
We decided to.
Else.
We did a lot of traveling in that van, and we just camped out of that van and slept in that van. So that was back before the van life thing was like a thing. So we
were cool.
We're trendsetters.
We're cool before it was cool.
So that's kind of how we got started on this. Whoa, hit the wrong button. Okay. How do we pair for road trips versus camping trips?
Okay, so camping trips, you take a whole lot more, I think, because you're there, you're set up, you just need more stuff. When we're road tripping, we don't have to take quite as much food and supplies because
we buy what we need
along the way. Yeah. So our
examples of camping lately have been really revolving around runaway rallies and meeting up with friends.
We have one coming up.
That's typically how when we're camping, we're usually with somebody else. You may or may not see them in the video, but
when we're set up for, you can tell we are camping, we are not road tripping.
Right. So we're usually visiting with friends and hiking and seeing. We like state parks, so anyway,
hiking.
That is the difference between the two. Road tripping, we don't take that much stuff. Very minimal. We don't do. I got one of those one burner propane butane stoves.
And you've seen he usually sets it on the front of the camper and cooks up our food.
Cook right there. Yeah.
Yeah. Or else we get some kind of microwave meal and.
And then if we are not camping and we're cracker barreling, we always buy something at Cracker Barrel.
Either breakfast or supper.
Yeah,
if we get in early enough, we have dinner. If we don't, we have breakfast the next morning.
And the way we do that is we just buy one meal and share it. We don't buy two meals. That old timers breakfast, we can both split it in half and eat just as much. And that fried chicken is one of our favorites at Cracker Barrel, and we just cut that in half and eat it. There's plenty to eat there. We
share a meal everywhere we go.
And Nancy makes sandwiches. And
as we're driving.
Also, we do salads. We like salads with some meat, like some chicken or whatever in there. So
ham, chicken.
I think that we probably went a little bit longer, but how do we prepare versus road trips versus camping? Do we prefer road trips over camping?
I like both.
I like both.
Yeah.
But
it's a variety.
We are probably more road trippers than we are campers. Our camping tends to be around social events and meeting up with friends and things like that.
And our rallies. Well, they're like family reunions.
We really like
seriously.
road trips.
Yeah.
What is the weirdest roadside attraction you have been to? Actually, I got this question from my niece, Victoria.
Whose wedding we went to.
Yeah, and you've actually, I think she might have been in a couple of our videos.
Brown County State Park.
Since she was probably in junior high, she usually would come to Indiana, and she lives in Wichita, Kansas. And she would come to Indiana and spend some time with us every summer, and so we've had a really good time with her. And so,
but she's out in a tent because we're in the runaway.
Yeah. So,
sorry, Victoria.
Anyway.
So the quirkiest that I can think of, I don't know what yours would be, but we were out. Was it Colorado? And we saw this igloo-like thing made out of old bicycles. Do you remember that?
We've seen so. I mean,
yeah.
You get on Route 66 and it's nothing but weird and quirky. I mean, there's just all kinds of things.
But you expect that.
Was it in Texas? There's like a Prada store right out in the middle of the desert. I mean, it's just there. There's nobody shopping there or anything. It's just a store.
Yeah, side of the road. It's weird.
We've met some, if you get down around that border region and like Bisbee and Talalengua, hey, we're talking. Talalengua, and we've met some strange, quirky people down there too. So I remember I was in Tombstone, Arizona, and sitting on a porch, and a guy walked by and he looked at Herky and said, "That's a stupid looking dog."
Can you imagine someone saying that about our baby? You're not stupid.
I want to get up and work that guy over.
So yeah, I would say the igloo made out of bicycles would be mine. I wish we had a picture of it.
It's hard for me to say. I mean, man, we've just seen so many things and so many cool stuff. This winter, you see, we were driving down the road, and I said, "Whoa, that's weird." We turned around, and there was like this truck stop with serving dead chicken and all kinds all those signs
and stuff.
I mean, we've just
that was
seen
down
so
by
many,
Lincoln National Park.
So we've seen so many strange things. It's hard to say, but thanks for the question, Victoria. I do got to say that one of my favorite quirky things we did was with Victoria. We were in Mackinac City, and we had this crazy idea. Every place sells fudge. So we decided to do a fudge crawl.
Don't do that.
So we actually got a tiny
each of us
bit of fudge at every fudge shop, and we were
they'll give you samples. So each of us got a different kind, and then we
were going to compare and everything like that. We actually got,
how many did we get? Like 8 or 9, and we were sick.
We got sick.
We had to stop, but there was more. We could have kept going.
But anyway, that was a quirky thing we did there, Victoria. So, hey, there's another YouTube channel called Honey I Roam. They're runaway people, and the girls there sent us a question. Says, "What are your top 3 favorite states?" Now, Nancy knew the question, but I didn't get her answer. So I'm going to see what she has to say.
My 3 top favorites would be South Dakota. Well, I have to have 4 because Missouri.
Yeah,
I love Missouri. Yes. So it would be South Dakota, Utah, and Hawaii. But I haven't been to Hawaii in my runaway.
No, but you've been. I have not been to Hawaii, but my favorites.
I'm sure Alaska is going to be there.
So I have to add. I like those. I like Colorado. I like Utah. Oh man, I like.
You love South Dakota.
South Dakota. I would say that in common, we really like South Dakota.
Right.
We could go there.
So
to
South
the Black
Dakota,
Hills.
Utah, Arizona.
But then there's Maine.
Yeah.
There's Acadia National Park.
Yeah.
There's New Hampshire with Franconia Notch.
Yeah.
And Watkins Glen and.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's just so many places. We've been up into Canada even too.
Michigan.
So, yeah, Michigan.
I mean, Michigan's gorgeous.
We've been to, how many states have we been to, hon?
Well, I have 1 more to go. Okay. So I've been to 49. You've been to
the lower
47.
47 states. So
you need Alaska, Idaho, and Hawaii.
Yeah. So, man, I mean, it's hard to say, but hey, that was a really good question.
Yeah.
And we were really.
It was hard.
So Amber and Julietta, I was hesitant to even answer this because I know there's somebody out there that's
going to say, what about this state?
What about this state?
But I would say if we had to sit down and go, okay, you have 3 states that you can go to, only 3. It would be South Dakota, Arizona, and Maine.
Yeah, well, I love those states. Yeah, it's
if those are the only, they said you have 3 states you can go to. Which 3? Only 3. Those would be.
Yeah.
Don't you agree?
We've been to the Black Hills several times. I honestly, I could go there today.
Let's go.
I really like it.
You're retired. Let's go.
So hey, the next question is similar to that. It says, what are your top 3 road trips? So we actually got over here. We've got a sign. In Studio B. Right. We have a sign of all the different some of the road trips we've been to.
Well, it would be Route 66.
Yeah, I love Route 66.
Natchez Trace. And Blue Ridge Parkway would be my favorite.
Yeah, those are great road trips.
But then there's the one coming down the coast of California too.
The Big Sur. Oh man, we love that too.
So it'd be Route 66, Big Sur, and Blue Ridge Parkway.
Yeah,
and then Natchez Trace.
Yeah, we like the Natchez Trace. We typically go there every spring. It's close to the house, and
we did parts of it.
The weather starts
winter.
We get itching for warm weather. We would run down and do the Natchez Trace. So anyway, oh boy, that is another hard question. What is someplace you two have never seen or never been?
Alaska. And we're headed there.
We're going to talk about that at the end of the video.
Yep.
Do you ever fear for your safety?
Only one time. And that was when we were in California when the country was going to be shut down. And so our son called and said, have you guys been watching the news or listening to the radio? No. And so he's like, well, you may want to. They're getting ready to shut this country down, and I'm not sure you would be able to get home. So we started for home, and we got to New Mexico, and they had already started shutting down. And you could get gas. So, we already have our food. We have our toilets. We spent the night on a Cabela's parking lot. Ed went in to check to see if it was all right. People were buying guns and ammunition like crazy.
Like the apocalypse. So
right. So that night, we didn't sleep very well. Right? But once we got to Texas, it was better. But it was just that one night.
The people in Texas are
right.
awesome.
Yeah, and they know
actually, our car broke down in Texas the very next day, and so many people stopped to help us. It was
wanted to take us home can they help us? Can they feed us? Yeah.
Yeah. So, to fear for our safety. I mean, we've certainly ran into our share of weirdos, but I got to tell you, we have ran into so many nice people.
They outweigh it.
They outweigh it. We've had people argue with us, and then we've had turn around and had just the nicest people. I remember one time, this was not in the runaway, but our car broke down, and we were just really waiting for somebody to pick us up, and we were sitting in a Denny's. Our car had been towed to a shop, and we were sitting in Denny's in Kentucky, and this little old lady came over. She seen us sitting there with our luggage, and she tried to buy us a hotel room for the night. I mean, we declined and thanked her, but oh, how nice. I mean, there is a lot of good people out there. And I mean, you know, people have helped us along the way, and we always look for the opportunity to have a conversation with somebody. We've wound up meeting people at RV parks and going out to dinner with them. And
we met somebody at the sign of
Carlsbad
Cavern. Found out he was a widower. He was going to go in the caverns by himself, and I said, this is your lucky day, because Ed's going in by himself. And so we happened to be staying at the same KOA. We went out to dinner, and we still keep in touch with
This could be the nice people that we've met along the way. Could be a whole, I mean, I could do a whole video of wonderful people we've met. We typically like, if Sunday, if able, we like to go to find a local church. I get online and kind of find a church that kind of matches up with us. I remember just not that long ago, we were in Beaumont, Texas, and we went to a church there, and the people were so nice to us. We walked in, and I think
we met everybody in the church.
Oh man, it was so nice. And then another time we went to a church in Georgetown, Texas. A friend of ours goes to church there, and after church, somebody came running up to us and said, "Hey, it's the Hanging with Herky crew. We watch you on YouTube."
We thought that was your trailer in the parking lot.
So we've met just the nicest bunch of people, and yeah, I can't say enough good things. Yeah, we've met some weirdos along the way, and
but that's just life.
What other countries have we been to?
Okay, I've been to South Africa. I went and worked in an orphanage there. A friend of ours runs an orphanage, and so I went there and helped him out for, I don't know, 10, 12 days. We've been to Ireland together. We've been to Brazil together.
Three times. We've been to 3 times.
Right. And then Costa Rica, I've been once. You've been 3 times now. Mexico several times. I've been to India. And then you've done all of the Central America.
So I've done the Gringo Trail in Central America. So that's you start in Panama, and
with our son before he was married.
You make your way through all Central American countries. So I've done that backpacking, jumping on chicken buses and back of pickup trucks, riding bicycles, hiking. I've done every Central American country. So starting in Panama and making our way to Cancun, Mexico, and then flying home.
And then we've been to Canada, of course.
Oh, and then in Mexico, we've done a lot of budget traveling with just backpacks. And we've been to Oaxaca and Puebla and Mexico City, staying in hostels and things like that. So we've done a lot of that type of travel. We've been to almost all the Caribbean.
Right. All the Caribbean.
Jamaica.
Been to Belize. We've both been to Belize.
Haiti.
Grand Cayman. St. Thomas. St. George. St.
Martin. Antigua.
Right.
I mean, we've been to most of the Caribbean.
Right.
We've done that. So yeah, I mean, I know I'm missing something.
We love to travel.
We've been to a lot of places.
Yeah.
So there's some places we want to go.
Italy.
We actually have plans to go to Italy this year. So in the fall. So hopefully we're not going to jinx it, but hopefully we have a deposit on a trip to Italy. So we're hoping to.
This is our 40th wedding anniversary, so we will be in Alaska for that date, and then Italy would be my gift.
So yes, we are well traveled, but there's still we have friends that live in Papua New Guinea, And
we'll be there someday, don't you think?
I would love to go see them. I mean, it's quite expensive to go there. You got to go through Australia and then.
But right now we have grandkids in Costa Rica.
Go out to the jungles at Costa and Papua New Guinea, and we would just love that. So anyway, maybe one day we'll do that. What are our future plans for this year? This is the last question.
All right, here we go.
And so let me just start by saying this is the longest road trip we've ever done, and we will be traveling for nearly a year.
Right.
So there you go, Hans. So lay it out.
We leave here the first part of February, which is coming up here. That's why Ed's got the van in the garage. So we will leave here. We'll go to Ohio, make our way down to Georgia, then to Florida because we have the homecoming. Then we'll be on down to Miami. We have friends there. We'll be into Key West. Then we're going to shoot across Texas and go to Arizona, maybe California. We're still a little unsure on that. We'll work our way back, come up through Oklahoma. I want to go to Pawhuska again, and then we'll come see Ed's mom. Come home. We should be back here in Indiana the 1st of April.
The first part of April.
We fly to Costa Rica for a few weeks. We come back. We have another rally in Mississippi. We have a wedding here.
The rally in Mississippi is at the
Persimmon.
The Persimmon.
COE or
Persimmon. I think it's called Persimmon Ridge. I'm not quite sure.
Yeah. Corps of Engineers.
Army Corps of Engineers.
Right.
And you can look at that on the Facebook pages. It might even already be full. Yeah, Barbara Lee is the person in charge of that.
Dennis.
And Dennis, we're attending that rally.
Right.
So,
and then we have a wedding here to go to, and then
we're not selling our house. We have
friends. And our next door neighbors are fabulous. They'll take care of the chickens, and we have friends that's going to help us out. So anyway, Herky will be with us, except for when we go to Costa Rica. He will stay with our daughter because it's just a week. And then
we fly back from Costa Rica. We fly back to Indiana.
Right, and then we have a wedding to go to the 1st of May, and then we take off for Alaska, and we hope to be in Alaska by like the 15th or 16th of May. Mm-hmm. We'll do Alaska. We will head out of Alaska in September.
We've been working on this. We have a whole itinerary, pretty solidified, pretty much. I know that. The week after 4th of July, we're in Denali National Park. We've got 1 week at the Reedy Creek, Reedy Campground, I think it's in Denali.
Right. And so then we'll be back here in September, the end of September. The first part of October, we go to Italy. We will come back and see our daughter because she will have Herky again. Surprise.
While we're in Italy.
Right. And then we... with Herky, leave to go to Costa Rica, and we will be there until January. We'll come back in January. February again, we head to Florida again. And
for the rally.
And then we'll be back here in April.
One whole year, and we'll be back in the following April. From there, I don't know what we're going to do.
There's so much we want to do. We want to go out to New Mexico to the balloon thing. Yeah. We want to go back up to Maine. I mean, there's just so much we want to do.
So, the big plans for this year, everybody's asking, and we've kind of been aloof, although we've mentioned it from time to time. This is going to be the longest, prior to this, the longest time we've ever been out was we spent 6 weeks on the road.
Right.
And
and then COVID shut us down.
Yeah, so we are really looking forward to this. We don't anticipate any problem at all. We think we're going to be able to handle it just fine. I do have my hearing issues that we got to try to figure out how to do from
as long as I stay on this side of you, you can hear me. And if you don't hear me, I just hit you, and then you look at me and.
So we got 1 year on the road, and we are well prepared, but we also know that
there's hiccups.
There's hiccups along the way, and we just go with that. We don't, the car is going to break down. I bring some tools, and we're going to fix it. You're going to have troubles along the way. Things don't work out the way you plan.
Never, ever, ever, ever.
As Mike Tyson says, everybody's got a plan until you get punched in the face.
That's a good one.
Well, that's about the only good thing Mike Tyson had to say. But anyway, that is our plan. We have prepared for this for a long time. We've actually been spending the last year preparing for this, actually the past couple of years financially, because I'm not working, and we've been preparing for this as far as that we bought the van for this reason, and we've went through this, and we've got a lot of preparation. So Alaska, we're going to spend some time in Canada, we're going to go to Calgary, we're going to go to Glacier, we're going to go to oh my goodness.
Well, coming back, we are going to go like Washington, Oregon, Idaho. Ed needs to get Idaho, and then we'll go down to California and then head across.
We hope to head through.
Well, because we'll see your mom again coming across, and your sisters.
Yeah. So I have to. So we are going to stay out for several months, making. There's always a road back to Indiana about every 4 months, and so we spend a week here, kind of get things grounded and stay connected to it. It's very important to us to stay connected to our friends, our family,
our church.
And our church. That's something.
Well, and in April, because in Indiana it goes by your last name, and so all of our license plates need to be upped, and our personal property tax. So we will come home for that.
It's very important to us to stay connected to our family and our friends. That's why we could never. The full-time nomadic lifestyle is not for us, because.
We love our church.
We're just very connected here in Indiana, so can't see that. So anyway, I know this has been long this evening, but these are questions that everybody's been asking, and I'm sure this is going to generate more questions, but
we'll do another one.
We've done the best we can.
And we are going to try to get the midweek updates going again. The house is quiet, so we can do that, so... Give us
a few weeks, and we're going to be back to regularly scheduled videos. Okay, that about wraps this video up. I tell you, I know it went long tonight, but
and Herky is.
We're going to try to get back to the regularly scheduled programs here and get our videos out. We don't know how the timing's going to work on all this, but rest assured, we're going to have videos coming out.
Right.
Look for us on Sundays. And we will try to get our midweek chats going again. And I know a lot of people really like those. So anyway, we'll see you next week. And thanks for watching.
Bye now.